About 200 gallons of gas spilled into this creek and flowed all the way into Wintersmith Park here in Ada. Well, now the city has installed these booms in hopes of filtering out the gas. Debris just like this is scattered all across northwest Pontotoc County after a tornado ripped the roof off of this mobile home. Oklahoma Highway Patrol says the accident happened just before 1 p.m. on State Highway 3 West in Pontotoc County. Prosecution and defense each gave their opening arguments, and 4 witnesses were called to the stand, including the boy's mother and stepfather. Maureen, the jury has been deliberating for hours, trying to decide how much time, if any, Miss Duncan should face. You can see the amount of damage investigators say one man caused after he plowed into this Tishomingo police car, and it appears officers shot right through this windshield. That's right, Dan. Firefighters tell me the boy and his friend were playing with a gasoline can inside what used to be a carport here at this home. Moments later, the home exploded. The sheriff says it all started at this home, and the homeowner tells me when he heard this glass break, that's when he knew an intruder was inside. These filing cabinets are still smoking from a fire that started around 4 o'clock this morning. Luckily, no one was hurt. Sarah tells me she got her inspiration for the plates from this red schoolhouse. It's been here for over 100 years. Now drivers all over the state of Oklahoma can represent the city of Ada. Troopers say 2 women are dead, 2 people had to be flown to Oklahoma City hospitals, and 3 others were transported by an ambulance. We'll tell you what he had to say in court tonight at 6. Live at the Cleveland County Courthouse, Sydney Gray, News 12. Pontotoc County parents say they're fed up with the state.
Mainly I'm out here because I believe in public education, and I'm amazed at what our teachers have been able to do with what little they have. Teachers have asked nicely, they've reasoned, and they've begged and pleaded for more education funding for our schools.
Parents and teachers held a protest Wednesday evening to voice their concerns on the current state of public education. Being teacher Janelle Manuel says parents and teachers decided to come together after the school board approved a teacher walkout at Monday night's meeting.
They voted unanimously to give our superintendent the authority to adjust the calendar as he sees necessary.
The Ada School Board also authorized a teacher walkout set for April 2nd.
We're at the point where I think we all feel that drastic action may have to take place for something to change.
Ada Superintendent Mike Anderson says the district walkout is about more than teacher pay. He says schools are in dire need of funding for essentials like books and buses.
It's not just about the pay. It's about the long-term health of our state and our kids.
Special education teacher Andrea Boyd says budget cuts to services like developmental disability services have been especially hard on her students.
They don't always have a voice, an advocate that steps up and says, we need a proper education. We need it funded just like, it was the most important thing in the world.
Amanda Walker doesn't have any kids, but says she still sees the need for change.
Any way that we can come, and even if it's a small crowd, it's raising awareness. Even if it's a little, it still means a lot.
Save our school! In Ada, Sydney Gray, News 12. After her husband Harold's surgery, Mary Hurst knew something wasn't right. The incision was now infected, and the doctor who performed the surgery, Dr. Matthew McTeague, told Mary just to change the bandages a few more times a day. But the incision got worse. And that same afternoon,
His intestines literally fell out of his body.
What they went through was it was horrific.
Harold was flown to a Dallas hospital and spent a week in a coma. Mary says it took 3 more surgeries to fix what had gone wrong at the Chickasaw Medical Center. After several failed attempts at getting a response from the hospital's risk management office, Mary contacted attorney Dale Rex.
I've never dealt with a case where a person's inside ended up on their outside before. This is not a normal occurrence.
Rex says the Hursts wanted to file suit against the Chickasaw Nation Medical Center and Dr. McTeague, but because of the Federal Tort Claims Act, neither the hospital nor the doctor can be held responsible.
There's a long-standing legal doctrine called sovereign immunity that says you cannot sue the government unless the government says you can sue it.
The Chickasaw Nation Medical Center is a subsidiary of the Indian Health Service, a federally funded agency within the Department of Health and Human Services. It's responsible for providing health services to American Indians.
In 1946, they decided to pass a Federal Tort Claim Act to kind of create a way for most of these bills of redress to go somewhere else, to go through a court system.
Rex says victims have 2 years from the time they learn about an incident to file a tort claim. He says once the federal government denies a victim money for wrongdoing, they have a year to file suit. If the government never responds, victims can file suit after 6 months. The Hearst filed and were denied their claim before the 6-month period. Now they're suing the government.
The case of Harold and Mary Hearst versus the United States is currently set for trial on July 31st.
The Hearsts are asking for millions in damages. If they win, whatever damages awarded won't be paid through malpractice insurance like other hospitals. Instead, the American taxpayer would foot the bill. Mary and her daughter agree Dr. McTeague and the hospital should be held responsible.
Laws need to be changed to lift that tort.
Honestly, it's just not fair to the taxpayers.
When we asked to talk to someone at the Chickasaw Nation about this story, we were sent this statement. Our commitment to providing quality care is the centerpiece of our mission. While we are unable to comment on the specifics of pending litigation, our hearts and prayers are with the family. We were also sent an email that went to all Chickasaw Nation Medical Center employees in response to part 1 of this story. You can read that statement on the KXII website.
Laws need to change. We can't continue to have this happen.
In Ada, Sydney Gray, News 12.
Actually completed it, but I think this year I will.
Walking with a purpose. For the past 26 years, Christians have joined 71-year-old Tony Mondahar on a 20-mile walk from Allen to Ada to spread the word of Jesus Christ.
We just touch people's heart and maybe, as I said, turn to God and more follow on his way.
Mondahar brought the tradition with him when he immigrated to Oklahoma from the Philippines in 1988. The tradition started at the Sacred Heart Catholic Church here in Kanawha, where Mondahar began his first pilgrimage in 1991. Nearly 30 years later, the tradition continues as Mondahar and other Christians end their journey here at St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Ada. Deacon Dennis Fine and others drive along Highway 1 while the pilgrims walk so they can rest and get food and water every couple of miles. 10-year-old Natalia Palma says,
It teaches us the fact that he did a lot more stuff than we did, and we should do some stuff so we know how he felt.
Mondahar says they carry a cross to represent the ultimate sacrifice of Jesus Christ.
I'm so glad, thanks God, that their walk and their sacrifice is connected to God.
Mondahar says he hopes more people join his walk next year.
He saved us.
In Ada, Sydney Gray, News 12.